I'm Joanna Penn from Mystery Thriller TV, and this is a review of Jackdaws by Ken Follett. Now, I was actually given this book when I was en route between countries, between Australia and England, and someone gave it to me, and I'm not really a Ken Follett fan, so I wouldn't have actually bought the book myself, but I was surprisingly happy with the book. I really enjoyed it. It was a fast-paced thriller with a female heroine, and basically Flick Claret is one of these one of the jackdaws who in World War II were sort of helping with the resistance. They were, strong women who were helping out in the war effort. So it's an interesting story for a start, and although you know the end, I mean, you know what happens in World War II, you know the Allies win. The story itself is a kind of microcosm of the Nazis and the Allies. So basically it opens with the resistance attack on a German sort of telecommunications base, and the opening scene we have Flick, and we have a Nazi sort of guy arrives, sees the failure of the attack. Some of the resistance are killed, some are captured and tortured, and we see, the book opens with this sort of massive failure of the resistance to blow up this telecommunications place, and this has a big effect on the Allies' plans. These are the days before the big push. So the premise of the book is that Flick basically has to get back to France and blow up this telecommunications place, but she can't do it with any of the local guys, including her husband, who is a French resistance fighter. So the book follows Flick and her group of women who she recruits, but she has to recruit kind of random people because she can't use those that the Germans could identify through torture of the prisoners. So she has this sort of ragtag bunch of women that she finds that, sort of an aristocrat old friend from her childhood, and sort of a lesbian lady who's been in jail, and a kind of bunch, and a transvestite, which is just brilliant. So these women are trained up in a few days and taken back over to France to try and sort of take over this place. So it's a really interesting story. There's a lot of character build up. Flick herself is a very strong woman. We see her fighting, killing with no problem, but we also see her thinking about love, the troubles of her marriage, and some of the other things that happen. So there's a lot of intelligence behind her actions, and also it's interesting because we know that these things happened in the war, and that women did receive sort of commendations for doing this, although they never received medals like the men did. So why would you read this? It is a thriller because there's a race against time. They have to do this before the big push of the Allies with the British invasion. We don't know who's going to live and who's going to die because it's a very dangerous situation. The evil Nazi, Germans are not stereotyped, which is quite good. The leader who tortures some of the people, he gets these terrible migraines when he tortures people, like a guilt. And we also see him with, his lover, and he clearly has emotion around these things. So he's not just this sort of cartoonish Nazi figure. He's a good bad guy because you can empathise in a sense with his beliefs and what he's doing versus the Allies. So definitely read it for the characters if you like the World War II stuff, and even if you don't, I really enjoyed it as just an interesting thriller in an area that I wouldn't personally normally read. So that's Jackdaws by Ken Follett. Thank you. I'm Joanna Penn from Mystery Thriller TV.